Hello everybody, Rita Lawrence here, back with another chapter of the beautiful book of The Science of Getting Rich. The principles in this book really do bring science and theology kind of to a culmination point, I do believe, for myself anyways, on my journey. And that's a lot of what I'm sharing here. This chapter really does get into a lot of the theology and absolutely can relate, if you are a believer, to many scriptures in the Bible. So I encourage you to do research there. And I'll mention some throughout this here today too. But the subject is really, to me, spoke to me much deeper than just simply living a life of thankfulness. Though gratitude does mean being thankful, being grateful. Kindness is also in that, being appreciative. And I'm going to cover more of what I got from this chapter with you here. And it's going to be a little deep today. I will let you know. I've been living in the season of just great advancements in this area in my personal life, and awakenings, paradigm shifts, just you name it, and it's coming to me. So I will let you know that as you're studying these principles, and especially as you're putting them into practice in your life and in your business, you will see the same things happening. And I hope that you share that with me and send me a message and let me know how you are and how you're coming along with these videos. I would love to know what your take is on this too. So I want to start also by saying that, I've been hearing a lot of, obviously once we get to this chapter, it's clear that God is in this, and it is clear that this is a part of God's plan for all of our lives, those that have the eyes to see and the ears to hear what he is giving us through this book. But many, until we get into the theology part, fear the unknown. So when you've probably noticed when you first start reading this book, there is a lot that we might not understand and that we just might not grasp right away because it is new information. It is the unknown. But that is why we're here, to learn and to grow and to really improve our knowledge and our wisdom. And the only way to do that is to experience topics that are not known to us yet. So I want to encourage you to not let that hinder you. And when people start to talk about, well, this is about the law of attraction, it is not about God, or this is about things that energy and things that us as a Christian or us as believers might not have heard it kind of put that way before. But the fact is, if you are a believer, that God is the Alpha and the Omega. God came first. He was the beginning and will be the end. So there is no fear in the unknown. We can pray for discernment. And he created us as energy beings. He created the law of attraction. That's what it speaks to me in my life. And that attraction is God within us. That's simply what it is. And this is a call for us to attract more people in this way. Not only people, but events. What we want in life, just exactly what this entire book is about. Thinking what we want and then using what is within us and what God has given us to bring those about, to bring the beauty and the blessings and the riches to our lives, tangible and intangible. And I say it every time, that every chapter resonates with me. And it really is true, and it is a fact. And I'm going to get into some things here. This really helps to bring in an orderly method. And that's what I like about this, is that, when we're living our lives, everyone's looking for an owner's manual. And truth be told, we can read the Bible and we can learn a lot from there. But he also gives us other resources and tools like this that bring order and that bring a methodology to our daily lives and specific principles to put into practice. And that gives us foundation and it gives us roots for whatever it is that we're doing. And I just love that about this. So it goes back to what the last chapter, the first step toward getting rich is to convey the idea of your wants to the formless substance, to what we cannot see. To see more than what we cannot see is simply what that is telling me. We've asked for truth and advancement, and now it is time to be grateful that we are receiving that we are gaining all that we have asked for, and that even what we are asking for that we do not physically see, we already have. And I do believe this chapter is a call to being grateful for those things that we do not see yet, and getting to the point where we actually feel them and see them and know them enough that we can truly live a life of gratitude for those things that we know are coming and that we know God has it stored for us, right? Not only money riches, but all of the riches in the world, all the happiness, true joy and happiness every day. That's my true riches every day, that I already wake up experiencing. And he says that's not enough, He says, continue on your journey because I have a great contribution for you to give to the world. And how can you contribute with no tools and resources and money? We cannot. We've got to have the things of the world and the resources of the world. And when we are resourceful and when we are seeking freedom and when we are seeking these, they do come to us and they are coming to us. So be open, be ready every day for that. This is a call to perfect harmony and unity with God. Just the most beautiful thing you could ever imagine. True peace, true harmony in our lives with all of those around us, including those relationships and those people that you might think are not very harmonious. As long as we're human and living in this earth, we are spiritual beings, but living in a physical body and living in an earthly world that is imperfect and that will always be imperfect. I was on a call last night, and one of the coaches in our coaching group, Coach Chelsea, she went through the 7 limiting beliefs. And it's crazy because I struggled with all 7 of those limiting beliefs all of my life. And I'm so thankful now that I have resources and tools that can help me overcome those, and that are helping me overcome those in great, beautiful ways. It's okay. So the next thing this really focuses on is to keep looking at God and to keep following your heart and to keep following what he puts in there, despite what is around you, despite the yelling kids, despite that you aren't going to have perfection in every relationship that you have, in your personal life, in your business. Again, as long as we're dealing with the human race, there will always be imperfection, but God brings his promises to help ground us and stabilize us so that we can continue every day to move forward and to live in harmony and peace. He doesn't mean for us to be here lost and struggling and in seasons of pain and struggle and challenge. Though those things are here, and it's very true, we have those, there is a way, and it's this certain way that we can rise above those. And believing it, seeing it, acting on what we believe, even when we don't see it, is truly key to really burning and flaming the fire that is within us for wisdom and for growth and for advancement that is just so natural. We've covered that in one of the previous chapters, how natural it is and how normal it is for us as humans to want to be better and to want to be more every day. It's nothing to do with discontentment, though you will hear those words come out, but that has nothing to do with it. That is something that has been taught to us, through time, and it's just not true. There's no discontentment in wanting to be better every day. There's just not. Focus 2. Here's a big distraction that comes in for many, many people that this chapter really brought out clear to me. Complaining. Please really, really work on your words and what you're speaking. Because if we are not speaking life, then we are not truly living life. If we are speaking complaints, and if we are, focusing on where we're stuck or where we perceive ourselves to be stuck, maybe it's physical issues, maybe it's perceived failures. And again, nothing is a failure. All failure is just, it's people's opinions in regard to a specific situation. And it really, in the big picture, all it is for me is God guiding us into something better or something more, or something we've got to learn from. So don't ever see anything as a failure. See it as a learning experience and a part of moving forward. But also don't focus on those. Continue to move forward and out of that. Each second and each moment of the day, we are here to be thankful and to be grateful for what we have right now. Even just a few minutes ago, my kids were arguing. We had some, verbal issues going on in our living room. And I had to really say to myself, this is a moment in time that is so minute and so unimportant that it should not be focused on right now. I should focus on positive. I must give gratitude for even this right now that seems to be happening in my house, that maybe seems to be not peaceful, or, before would have totally took me out. I wouldn't even be here doing this video right now months prior after that experience, because in my spirit and in my mind, I would have been taken down. I would have been, wanting to do something to make myself feel better. Like, maybe just vegetating, maybe laying down again, maybe another cup of coffee. For some people it's medication. For some people it's drugs. For some people it's alcohol that they see it as feeling better and bringing, something to distract from whatever it is that might not be, seen as going right. But truth is, those are all just Band-Aids. All of that, addictions, truthfully, in my mind, even diagnosis that I have had in the past, like depression and anxiety, those also are just distractions. God really has brought this to me in my personal life, on my personal journey, that all that is well, it can be attached to things from the past. My anxiety, a lot of absolutely is Coach Chelsea was talking about this last night, where a neural pathway is created, and we don't even realize a lot of times that we are reacting to things in a way that are just simply embedded in our bodies out of habit. It's really, we almost don't even have a choice until we acknowledge and become aware of it. And for me, depression, really, when I see that now, I just, and no offense to anybody that might be dealing with that, because this is just what God's told me personally, but I see it as just plain out selfishness. Because when I begin to feel those depressive symptoms and those, depressive thoughts coming in, if I really take a good look, all I'm doing is thinking of myself. All I'm doing is literally being selfish. And again, that's my personal testimony, but I choose to look past that and not to look at myself. And when I feel those depressive symptoms start to come in, I reach out and help somebody. I reach out and love somebody. I reach out and snuggle with my kids, and I realize that it's not all about me. It's often not about me at all. And it's about what I can do and what I am here to give to those around me, and what my purpose is. Not my past, not my struggles, not my, self. Everything is a perception. Our problems, our struggles, everything we go through. The way we think of it is simply a perception. And that's what we're working on here, is changing those perceptions to be more healthy and to serve us and to serve those around us in a better way. This was a beautiful quote here in this book. The soul that is always grateful lives in closer touch with God than the one which never looks to him in thankful acknowledgement. So, even though all of these perceptions that we go through in life and the experiences we go through, the struggles, the challenges, at the time, maybe they didn't serve us, and maybe we've allowed things to bring us down and to, maybe we've allowed ourselves to see things as negative or positive or good or bad. But truthfully, it is just moments in time, experiences that now we can choose to see as beautiful, and to choose to be grateful for, and to choose to see what we have learned through it, and then to move forward and to help somebody else in that. And to be closer to God through it, truthfully. So the more gratefully we fix our minds on the supreme, which is God to me, when good things come to us, the more good things we will receive, and the more rapidly. So really focus on the basics as well. Being thankful for the air we breathe, the water we drink, the food we have, the roof over our heads, It does start there. It does start there. We must be thankful for everything we have now, all the blessings and gifts before we will receive more. Being grateful for the house you're in. If you want a bigger house or a, different kind of car, be grateful and care for the one you have as if it was that, as if it was there already. There are two ways my mentor, Robert Hollis, has said that we can see life, and that is as everything is a miracle or as if nothing is a miracle. And it is true that if you choose to see everything as a miracle, then you will begin to feel like a miracle. You will begin to see more of the miracles around you. Everything is a miracle. Be grateful for you first. This is a really powerful piece of this chapter that spoke to me in ways I just cannot explain in words. And I've processed this a lot. I've really studied this chapter, and I've really gone into the Bible and studied, and I've gone into my mentor's book and read his view on this, and I've listened to Mastering the Science of Getting Rich and his videos and his series, and I'm going through the Millionaire Creation Formula, and a piece of that in the very beginning of that is a practice where you actually visualize those that have hurt you and those that have not brought positivity into your life. Maybe their childhood experiences. My mentor was abused as a child, not only from his parents, but his adopted or his foster parents too. He was just not appreciated as a child. And he had to come to the point where he said, thank you for those experiences. And I myself had to get to that point with people that have hurt me. With people that have hurt me that didn't intend to hurt me. I was born to teenagers that were, not in the best part of their life to have a child. Yet I have enough purpose that I was brought into the world anyways. And that was their purpose, just to bring me into this world and to be my earthly parents to birth me. It doesn't necessarily mean they're supposed to be there for the rest of our lives. Though many parents are there for their children for the rest of their lives and through their childhood, and they teach and grow and help them. That's not every parent's purpose. And I had to get to that point where I saw them as doing exactly what their purpose was, and then moving on. Being grateful for that experience, being grateful that through my childhood I felt worthless and I felt lack and I felt lost and I felt like I had no purpose. But as a child, that was just a natural way to feel, because children only see life as themselves. They only see within. They do not see without. So it's not like I could, rationalize and say, well, hey, they were supposed to birth me, but I was supposed to live with my grandmother. I was supposed to be raised by friends and family. I didn't see that as a child. But those experiences shaped who I'm able to be today for my kids and for my family. The commitment I have as a wife to my husband, the commitment I have as a mother to my children are because of what I went through as a child. Though painful when I was going through it, though painful even as an adult, many times in my life, I experienced pain and hardship and struggle because of those feelings and those experiences. But now I see the beauty in it. Now I see that others that have gone through that need to hear this. Need to hear too that their birth parents' purpose was simply to bring them into the world. And somebody else then takes over. I mean, God, for one, is our Father and Almighty. So with Him, we have all, truly. So just a beautiful, beautiful testimony now that I have for what I was born into and what I've been able to continue to live in my life and to be. I dreamed of this family my entire life. I got married first time when I was 16, thinking that a family was going to bring wholeness to myself and my heart, and soon realized that that wasn't the truth, and that I was seeking something outside of me. Eventually I realized that was really going to be birthed within me and within my heart, and something that could never be taken away. Our purpose and our soul and our spirit and what God breathes into us when we are born is truly everlasting and could never be taken away, and no experience and no person that has done anything to you can ever take that away. And that is so beautiful. And I just really want to inspire you to see yourself as the miracle that you are, and to see your purpose in your heart as whole and as healthy, exactly as God intends it to be, exactly as He intends for us, so that we can make a difference in the world. And that is why you're here, to gain that perspective and to learn the things that we have not been taught in schools, and that we have not even been taught by the people around us a lot of times, because they didn't know either. It's not their fault. It's our place now to bring truth and awakening to the world. I do believe that that is our purpose. The majority of the world lives in poverty, not only in their finances, but in their mind. And they don't see all of this beauty. And that is where a lot of this book has spoken to me, that riches truly are within us, not without us, not on the outside. And that when we achieve that rich state in our heart, that is when our life can bloom, and that is when we are able to contribute to all of the causes that are close to our heart, and give back to those that are still hurting and still in that lost world of poverty. I'm going to read another quote here that's actually pretty much a scripture. Draw nigh unto God, and He will draw nigh unto you. It's just so beautiful. By simply being grateful, we do produce more faith, and through faith we do produce more of our truth and more of what God has for us. Write your gratitudes every morning if you are not already doing this. At least 5 things. Truly be thankful for them. All things. All things. Here is, I think it's 1 Thessalonians, where it talks about being grateful in all circumstances. And you know what, a lot of what I just talked about, we have to be grateful for. But even what we're living in today, we might not feel we should be all that grateful for. But truthfully, we've either gotten ourselves here or somebody else has gotten us here. So if you're in a situation that you feel you are not grateful for, work on the action steps to get out of that and to grow and move forward. And then be thankful for the experience. We can choose to focus on the inferior or on the best. And I encourage you to only focus on the best. Where we give our attention, where energy flows where our attention goes. So always remember to think on the positive and to think on the blessings and on the best things. Constantly fix our mind on the best. Notice what we don't want, of course. Notice and change those things, but then be grateful for the experience, because that is what brings us into that next chapter of our lives, into that next level of where we're meant to be. Everything is a purpose. There is a reason for everything. God is in control of all things. Politics, government, relationships, everything, every experience here in this earth, God is in control over. And there is a purpose for everything. Even if we can't see that purpose, even if we don't understand those purposes, there is still a purpose for everything. I'm really working on not seeing things as good or bad, or positive or negative, but just as it is. Just as it is. It just is. And this is how God intends it. And, we have the ability to change our life with our thoughts and with our faith. And because of what we want in our heart, we are able to make changes. Despite the earth and the world and how everything is, we can still move beyond what we see and create a life for ourselves that is rich in all areas. We can overcome, we can rise up. We have the tools and the ability to continue to do that no matter what tries to bring us down. I'm so grateful I can cultivate my life the way I want to cultivate it. I'm so grateful that I can speak into existence the things that I want. My husband, my healthy family, my healthy children. I'm so grateful I spoke all of that into my life. Literally my whole life I've been speaking my life I have right now into existence. And I'm so thankful. I'm just so thankful that God is that powerful. There's a few paragraphs at the end here that talks about politicians and plutocrats, government, industry, and that kind of thing. And I encourage you to read those chapters, because that's what opened my mind to the fact that everything is for a reason. There's no, Mother Teresa was never one to, be an anti-war rally or anti rallies, she says focus on the good. It was just, she's such an example of what this chapter tells us to do. Research Mother Teresa if you have not, and find the beauty that she brought to the world, because truly that is what God is telling us in our hearts to do. To, you know, if you don't like war, then be on a peace mission. You know, if you don't like drugs, then be on a nutrition and a prevention mission of keeping our bodies healthy. If you don't like, let's see, hunger, you know, people are starving, people don't have homes. Don't focus on those things. Focus on what we can do to make that better and live in that. Rally on feeding people, rally on housing people, rally on helping foster kids that have no parents, that are pulled from their homes, rally for giving them resources and tools that they need to live in the world despite the situations that they are in. Don't focus on the situations. Don't post stuff on negativity. Don't post stuff on war. Don't post stuff on all of that, because that's how we are seen then. And we are called to be seen as the light and as the goodness and as what God wants in this world, and not the latter. So I hope that you've gained a lot from this chapter. I know I sure have, and I'm going to cut it now because I'm already, oh my gosh, 26 minutes in. And if you've made it to the end of this video, I appreciate you and your time and your willingness to be open and to learn and to give back to the world, because that's the only reason you're here. You know, I know that when I first started watching my mentors' videos, it was for myself, and it was to better myself and my life and my business. But I soon realized very quickly that it was the world that was hurting, and it was the world that I was called to help, not just simple little old me. Though I am a miracle, and though you are a miracle, we are created with a purpose. And don't let the distractions and don't let what's around you that you can see distract you from the true purpose God has in your heart. Go with it with all your might. Go for it. Reach out to what God has given you in your heart, the things you cannot even see yet, and be grateful and thankful for them every moment of the day. Live in that gratitude. See what you do not have yet physically as if you already have it, and live in that gratefulness. Feel what it's going to feel like to have that home, to give those kids those gifts at Christmas, to have that job that you always wanted, that you can have freedom and work from anywhere in the world, or make as much money as you need or want to contribute. See it and feel it as if it's already there. And the quicker you do that, the quicker that it then comes to you. You know, I have so many personal experiences I can share with this, and we'll be coming on more live in the group to share more of my experience and to really just give back more of what everyone's pouring into me through my coaching series and my business courses and all of the things I'm learning in my meditation and in my time that I spend with God in my life. I'm all that is to give back, and I hope to do that, and I hope to inspire the world to just be better every day. And I love you so much, and we'll talk again soon. Bye.